G'day, it's Shane here from Grape TV, and thank you for joining me in my home bar. But more importantly, thank you for helping me spread McLaren Vale wines to the world. Today, everything old is new again. Now what the hell do I mean with that? Well, I've got a K Brothers Amory Vineyards Basket Press Mataro 2010. I knew I said 2012. 2010. Now what do I say everything old is new again? Mataro, also known as Mourvèdre. Interestingly enough, McLaren Vale tends to call this variety Mourvèdre, but K Brothers have a long history of growing this variety and have called it Mataro right the way through, so they decided to stick with the Mataro tag. But Mataro, Mourvèdre, Montesul, I think that's how you pronounce it, are all the one variety. Now it's interesting, Australia seems to be looking at all these alternate varieties at the moment, and look, for us as consumers, that is eminently wonderful. We're getting to try all these other different varieties, not just the mainstream varieties. So we've got the Tempranillos, the Fianos, all those type of things that are coming through, and we get to try these different wines. But Mataro, Mourvèdre, has been made in Australia for hundreds of years. Hundreds of years. It's been here mainly as a fortified based variety in the early days, but it's making some very interesting table wines these days, and I must say it sparked my interest a fair bit. Mourvèdre, a lot of you may have tried Mourvèdre in the GSM blend, Grenache, Shiraz and Mourvèdre, and so with great interest I tried this the other night, enjoyed it a fair bit, so I thought I'd better share it with you. So, I'm getting aromas already, swirling this around, so let's do the wanky thing. Now interestingly, when I first opened this wine, I got very much the cherry, plummy end of the flavour spectrum, but I must say now it's actually started to move into a little bit more darker fruits. Yes, there's still the cherry there, still plummy there, but it's not the red cherries, it's the dark cherries. Same with the plums, but I'm also getting, that's my phone going, I'm also getting some black fruits coming through as well, so quite interesting. Anyway, let's keep going. That's come along nicely, and in fact I think that's drinking even better than what it did when I opened it up first a day or so ago. Now what am I getting here? Now I'm getting what I consider and what I get from Mataro or Mourvèdre. I'm getting some rather interesting dark fruit there, as I said before, on the nose. That dark fruit flavour comes through from the nose onto the palate quite nicely. But what I find with Mourvèdre, Mataro, that's quite interesting, and I get it here, is I also get a sense of violet in there, a bit of perfumey character coming through as well, and it's like I can taste it more than I can smell it. Now how can I smell perfume, taste perfume? I don't know, because I don't go around tasting perfume, but that's the sensation I'm getting. I also get a rather interesting meaty character coming through, and I find the tannins on Mourvèdre and Mataro as a little bit grainy. Now, I'd call grainy as almost a fault in some wines, but in this wine it seems to work. There's that grainy, interesting character on the back of the palate for those tannins is quite intriguing. And my mouth was watering, waiting for more. There's plenty of acid in this wine. I'm certainly getting, and that could be where the salivation is coming from. I'm certainly still getting that character coming through on the palate now. There's a bit of herbs. Interestingly, with this one on the nose, I'm getting a little bit more like a bouquet of dried herbs, more than fresh herbs coming through. So maybe that's showing there's a bit of dustiness coming through there as well, from the tannins and from the oak. But yeah, some dried herbs, maybe some sage, oregano, definitely of those ilk. We'll try it again, eh? Yeah, definitely violet's perfume, and that little just almost meatiness coming through on the back of the palate, which I find absolutely intriguing with this wine. Again, well, it almost sounds counterintuitive to say that this wine is nice, but it has a meaty character to it. Okay, but it just seems to work. Big mouth feel, and it's just a pleasure to drink. Now, 2010 was a really good year here in McLaren Vale. And I'd be surprised if there's not going to be a lot of good wine from 2010 made. But I'd say this one is definitely worth checking out. And K Brothers themselves are worth checking out. Wonderful location. It's been a family-owned operation for over 100 years. And if you ever get a chance to go there and say good day to Colin K, wish him well from me as well. So look, that's all we have time for on Grape TV at the moment. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Bye.